Mo Salah is going to be at Liverpool until 2027. He signed the new deal. It's only taken a year too long, but he's finally got there. He's finally agreed to the new contract. And from multiple sources, from multiple reports, it was never in doubt. Supposedly, his future was always set to be here. And that's coming from his perspective. He had no plans to move, no plans to move on. And now we've got him for another 2 years. We get 2 more years of the best right winger in the history of the Premier League, in the history of top flight English football. None of this, I don't want to hear Cristiano Ronaldo and all this stuff from 08-09. It was a great season, yeah, but Salah is the best. He is the greatest of all time in the Premier League. And we've now got the joy of watching him for another 2 years, ending all this speculation for another year at least, because next summer, no doubt, there will be talks over, will he extend again? Will he sign a new contract? Let's worry about that in the future like we did last time. So Salah has committed his future to the club, and it's come at a perfect time. We're in a bit of a rut following the PSG game, following the Newcastle final, following the Fulham match a few days ago, and an Everton performance which was good, but it wasn't overly convincing. This has come at the right time, and I do think that a lot of that is down to what's been going on with Trent. I made the point a few days ago on Grizz's channel that this whole Salah deal and the Van Dijk deal soon to come have fell from what's going on with Trent, and now that he's basically decided that he's moving on, and the reports in Spain are that Real Madrid are confident about the deal being done, that's now why we're announcing the Salah deal at this moment. I think things have been agreed for a long time. I really, really do. And the Trent deal was the thing facilitating whether or not we did it now or we had to wait a while. And because he's decided what he's doing, Salah's able to be presented. And of the 3, I think if you came into this window or this period of time of contract negotiations, I probably would have put Salah second. I would have actually said Van Dijk was bottom and Trent was probably top at a point, at a time, because of his age, because of his talent, and because of what we could get from him in the future. It's flipped. And Salah is the top priority. He was the top priority. He's having one of the greatest individual seasons ever, not just in the Premier League, not just in top flight English football, in European football history. He's having a season up there with the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, numerically comparative. They are 2 fantastic players, and Salah is in that echelon of player at the moment. He's the best right winger in world football. He's the best player in world football at the moment as things stand. And now he's staying. And according to the reports, according to what we've heard from behind the scenes, Liverpool were not willing to particularly break their wage structure, which I'm not all for. I think if you've got a player of this talent and this ilk who is coming up to 10 years at the club, who's won everything possible with this club, you can break your wage structure, similar to what we did last time. But apparently they weren't willing to do that. And the deal that Salah has signed is basically the same as his last one. He's just agreed 2 years extension, which shows how much he actually cares, how much he wants to stay at the club. He doesn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave. And that's fantastic to hear. He's not wanting to break the bank. This proves it was never a case of money. This proves it was never particularly a case of contract length, because if it was, I doubt he would have agreed a 2-year deal. I doubt we were offering him a 1-year deal. That doesn't make any sense logistically. Things have just worked out really well, and I'm so happy that he's actually getting to stay, and that we've seen sense throughout all this and didn't break the bank to keep someone at the club in the form of Trent who didn't want to be here, clearly, in the efforts to maintain him. We could have easily spent all that money on Trent, viewing him as the main priority, a young-ish right back even, who can play as a right winger practically, who's got the passing range that he does, and we've invested the money on someone who the fans actually care about. And Van Dijk is going to be the same. 2 important players that you have to keep at this club, who had to be there to maintain the standards and move us on into Arne Slot's era. And as long as the club rebuild around them and bring in players who can actually develop this squad, a left back, a striker, maybe a number 6, maybe another right back, then perfect. It's the smart move. If we don't, then we'll go from there, and there'll probably be a rant about it in a few weeks' time. This is ideal, and this was what we needed to do to maintain our status as Premier League title challengers. And to be honest, if things are going the way they are, title winners. Salah's the best, bar none. And the idea of losing him, not just on a free, because I don't think you're going to get a vast amount of money for Salah now. Saudi 2 years ago or a year ago, whenever it was, wanted him for 200 million, 250 million. Perfect, absolutely fine. You're not going to get that for him now, I don't think, even with Saudi's lucrative spending like they're a kid in the sweet shop. You're not going to get that. But the thought of losing him on a free or just losing him at all was a non-negotiable. It couldn't happen. Do I think we're going to see him perform to the levels he's been doing this season? Maybe not. I do think there will be a little bit of a plateau. He will start to dip slightly because he is getting older. And while he is 32 now and putting out the numbers he is, I think it's 26 league goals, 17 assists, something ridiculous like that. He is going to be older. He is going to start winding down sooner. And I think teams are starting to figure out how to mark Salah, how to get the best out of their defence to make sure that Salah doesn't cause issues the way he has been all season. We've seen that in the past few games. He has been quite quiet. But that doesn't make a difference. He's still the best player. He is rightfully deserving of this new deal. And I'm so thankful that Hughes and Edwards have come in and not thought, well, he's in his 30s, let's move him on. He's on high wages and use that elsewhere. Because I feel like that's something that not too long ago would have been the model that we operated under. You know, age is a big factor with our planning with regards to our transfers and who we sign and who we sell. Salah's the exception to that rule alongside Van Dijk. He's top quality in his 30s and he's at his peak now at an age where people will be starting to dip and decline, and he's otherworldly levels of good. So keeping him is superb. I was a bit, when I was listening to his announcement video, I was a bit surprised that there was as much talk as there was on trophies, more so than there was, you know, the fans. They're the reason I want to stay. My love for this club, I love this place, that's why I want to stay. It did feel very sort of, we're going to win trophies, that's why I stayed. I was told we're going to win trophies, that's why I stayed. And I'm all for that because the club is very focused on that at the moment in the stages that we are, in the way that we're going, in the way they're progressing. But I would have liked just a bit more of a sort of emotional approach to it. I think after everything, after the whirlwind, after the I've forgotten what the word is, but the media scrap, whatever it was outside Southampton, going there and saying, you know, no deal's close, I'm more out than in. That whole thing after Man United saying this is going to be my last game at Old Trafford, the Merseyside derby, this is going to be my last Merseyside derby. And I think after that, that's obviously set the fans in a whirlwind, in a bit of a tailspin. And I would have liked a bit more of an emotional response from him in this sort of a thank you. He did mention the fans. He's not just completely disregarded. He just said we're the best. He loves us. But I would have liked a bit more of a sort of, I could see how much they wanted me to stay. I could see that this was the club to be because I love this club. I want to stay at this club. This is the club that gave me my opportunity, so to speak. Not sort of mention it briefly and then discuss trophies and I'm here to win trophies. I'm here because I want to do this. When we like that mindset, that's not a problem whatsoever. But I don't know, it felt very sort of like he was told, you say about trophies, you say that we're building to success, you say we're building to this. It's all good things, but it just did feel a little bit scripted at points. I would have liked a bit more coming from him in that regard. But that's my one criticism of this whole thing. I thought the throne was class and the story, I thought it's amazing. But yeah, this is just my quick thoughts on it. We've kept the greatest right winger in our history, in Premier League history, in English history ever. He is the best. There is no competition in terms of Premier League and top division football. He is the greatest ever. And he is someone who is going to propel this club further. And we've got a Premier League to win this season. And then next season, we're going to strengthen. We're not losing our key players. Trent is the only one at the moment who looks set to be leaving. But from all accounts, Alisson's going to be here. Robertson's going to be here next season. We're going to have a reshuffle up front, but the main attacker and the main defender are still going to be here. And all this talk of Gravenberch's agents coming out saying he wants to Madrid, blah, 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 bullshit. We are going to strengthen in summer and we are going to be so much better next year. And I'm so excited for it. But Salah stays 2 more years. Let's stress about this in a year's time, which will inevitably happen. But yeah, thank you very much for watching for these quick thoughts. Let me know, are you happy? I mean, I'm sure everyone's going to be happy, of course, but what do you think about it? Should it be a longer deal? Do you think we should have broke the wage a little bit more for him? What do you make of this whole thing? Or are you just happy that he's staying around? And yeah, we'll see you next time.